Hello YouTube, this is Royal Mix Gaming, and we're gonna do Ion's Ballads today, and I'm gonna show you the quickest way of doing it. And I think I'm gonna be the tank this time just because it's easiest, and I don't know all these people, so hopefully they know what they're doing, but we'll walk through what to do. So you're just gonna drag your march out. Usually you're gonna send cav because it's the fastest, and there's this little circle if you drag to the right, and you're just gonna drag your march there. And you're gonna walk all the way around, avoiding all the mobs and stuff. And it's the fastest way of getting there because you're just gonna walk all the way around, and then you're just gonna let them. You're gonna take that point, and you're just gonna let yourself get smashed so that you can spawn from that point. And I was just making this video because I've seen a lot of people just not understand this, and I figured it'd be easiest just to make a video so that everybody understands that this is the quickest way to get it done, and you get it done in like 10 minutes instead of doing it in like 30 or 40 minutes if you take your time and actually smash all these guys. You can always use, double C to be the fastest, but I mean, I just sent my preset, so it takes a little bit of time, but it's not nearly as bad as it could be. As long as you have a good team, everybody knows that this is how it should be done. So we're almost there for the first boss. And you take the point, and then so you can spawn there, and then you just let them smash you. One of the mistakes a lot of people make is that you don't let them smash you, try and run away. Like somebody's gonna do here pretty soon, I bet. They just try and run away, but these mobs are like auto attack you, so they attack you wherever you are on the map, so you can't get away. Like even if you're not in their real technical range, they're actually just gonna follow you because they are activated, and that's what they're supposed to do. Is they're just supposed to attack you. So you just let yourself get smashed here as quickly as possible, but when you're a tank, it's harder sometimes. So then you just wait for them to walk away, but sometimes people, like I said, try and run away from them, and it's a mistake because you're just wasting your time. This person tried to run away from them. You can't get away. It's a mistake. They eventually realize that they can't get away, and they just let themselves get smashed, but waste a little bit of time just waiting for this person. And then once you're all smashed, you wait for them to walk away, because if you send out right away, they attack you again. It's a waste of more time, and you don't want that. So you just wait for them to make sure they're out of your range, which this time they are, but sometimes they're right next to it. And yeah, and you just wait a few seconds here, and they walk away. And then you just go attack the boss. When I use a tank, I usually try and use something secondary that debuffs him. So I mean, I'm using Tamaris right now, but you can always use just Richard and Alex or something like that. So you get a debuff, and you also heal on your tank. So another thing is, which doesn't matter on this too much, but you don't want to stand in front of the AoE. The game basically tells you not to stand in front of it. I mean, but since we're all T5, it's not a big deal. We just melt it. But on lower level players and stuff like that, you want to not stand in front of it if you're not tanking, because you're taking unnecessary damage from it. And then we're going to grab the chest here and move on to the next one. Same thing as the first one. There's a little bubble next to the camp that you're going to scroll, and you're going to get you're going to send your march there. This one takes a little bit longer because you don't always use cav for the bosses, so you can, but sometimes you don't, so it'll take a little bit longer. You're just going to do the same thing. Just walk up there and you're going to let yourself get smashed. Send out again. But you don't want to bother with the relics that are down below like you used to do, because there's no reason to. It's just a waste of your time. I mean, it's just there's not enough good enough buff to waste your time doing that. I mean, you're wasting 10 minutes probably or more just going for a rune that you're not even going to usually need, because these are easy enough as they are with especially if you're T5, it's much easier. But even with T4s, and if you did it with a lower level, it's not that hard. You just have to take a little bit more time to do the boss, because you're not doing as much damage. Fastest thing here is just to go right into the middle where they all are, so they just swarm you. It'd be the easiest way to get smashed. Almost there. Then we just let them walk away. They should do it here in a second, and we can come back out. So we're sending out now, same march. This boss doesn't have AoE, so you can just go right for it if you want. But just wait for all your people to come out, because otherwise they can't march as fast as you. Which I didn't, but it's not that big a deal. Since it doesn't have AoE, it doesn't matter what side you stand on for this one. It just has a lot more, it's tankier than the other boss, because it has some skills that keep it from taking damage and stuff. So yeah, the debuff from Tommy is pretty good here, because there's a lot of Guans of skill damage, so it's a lot of damage extra that the boss is taking. It spawns little helpers that try and help it from dying at the last minute, but it's usually not gonna help it when you're doing a lot of damage like that. So then you pick up the chest, which they recently updated the chest to give you mostly crystal keys. You get random legendaries, but I mean, I think I've gotten one out of like the 20 I've opened so far in the other events that we've had so far. So for this boss, you want to either stand by the gate or stand on the left or right, far right and left, one or the other, so that you can heal before the boss. Because used to, if you didn't do that, you wouldn't make the first round because you didn't have enough health. So what you do is you just trigger the mob, and then you walk to one side or the other, or you stand in front of the gate, whichever you want, doesn't really matter. And you just fight all these the mobs. I'm really glad that we've kind of figured out how to make this faster, because when we first did it, usually took us like a half hour or more, and this is going to take only like 10 minutes, and it's much better because it's just not very much, it's not a lot of fun to do all these mobs each time. At first it's fun, but after a while you get kind of tired of it, and at this point it's been around for a while that everybody just wants to get it done as fast as they can so they can get all the rewards, and especially now you want to do it because the crystal keys are way better than they used to be, because of the materials and stuff, and all the blueprints, which most of the time you're going to get a crystal key, but still it's a lot of materials over time, and you want those materials because you need to make equipment. And these little boxes give you like 1 minute speed up, so you don't really have to get them. They're not nothing that big a deal, but it's free, so. Then once the boss appears, you want to heal. and you can drag across and get ready to attack it. Then once everybody's healed, everybody's in position, maybe, you tank the boss. And it has an AoE, so everybody gets kind of dragged into it. This boss is a little bit harder because it spawns healing totems. If you don't take totems out fast enough, it heals a lot and gets really hard. So it's really good if you have a lot of damage. We have 4 Goans, which helps a lot, and a debuff from Tommy, which helps a lot, which just melts. So we completed that really fast, but sometimes it's very hard if you don't have enough damage. So yeah, you want to make sure you have plenty of damage up front, or you're not going to be able to get it down fast enough. It's just going to keep healing, and then you get frustrated, and then you never get it done. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you found it helpful. Have a nice day.